up, guys? Your boy Benny. All good things must come to an end and all bad things must come to an end. And so I guess your political perspective will determine how you view this story. If you are a lib who wants to live in a Marxist super state where you lock up your political opponents for literally nothing, then you're going to be very, very sad about this one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're the majority of the country and you don't want to live under the jackboot of tyranny, a bunch of freaks and losers and psychopaths and overly medicated, psychotic middle-aged women running your justice system, then you're going to celebrate this because, ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here. President Trump's hush money sentencing canceled opens up the door for the entire case to be completely dismissed. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump in here and read. Donald Trump's sentencing in the hush money case has been delayed indefinitely. Judge Juan Merchan, who should be fearing for his own freedom, given the fact that his daughter made hundreds of millions of dollars off the promise of putting Donald Trump in prison. That seems like a conflict of interest. Juan Merchan should be disrobed, I guess you'd say, as a judge, although please don't disrobe publicly. Yeah, that was, of course, that would definitely be on brand, however, for the left. All I'll say is he should lose his capacity to do his job as a judge because he's so unbelievably corrupt. Latest stunning turnaround of the case where Trump had been scheduled to be sentenced. They were planning on putting Donald Trump in prison. This was how they were going to do it. They had planned on rigging the 2024 election. You can see that in the numbers. You can see that in the media coverage. You can see that in the way that they approached and addressed every single move in the election. It was all planned to be a carefully orchestrated win in the last moments, in the dark of night. The goal was then to put Trump in prison immediately. Then you get rid of Trump forever. That was what the plan was. That's what we ended. By electing Donald Trump in a landslide, Donald Trump, we saved President Trump from dying in prison. That's what they were going to do here. In this case, they were going to sentence Donald Trump to die in prison forever. That was the goal. That was the goal. The latest stunning turnaround of the case, Trump scheduled to be sentenced for the conviction of 34 counts of falsifying financial records, which is a misdemeanor, of course. That sentencing, which could have brought 4 years of jail time, was delayed. Trump's team wants that case tossed entirely. Now their client is set to become the 47th president, the former president, first former president to be convicted of a crime, is set to take the reins of power. By the way, anybody who calls Trump a convicted felon should be sued for libel because Trump isn't a convicted felon unless the judge actually convicts him and sentences him. So, make sure you bring that one up during Thanksgiving with your liberal aunt. Underlying the peculiarities of the case, Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, who urged the case to get tossed, is now being nominated number 2 at the Department of Justice. Just as a sitting president is completely immune from any criminal process, so too is President Trump and President-elect, wrote lawyer Todd Blanche in an email to Juan Merchan. It came as Trump's lawyer wrote the judge, calling for an immediate dismissal, mandating the federal Constitution, Presidential Transaction Act of 1963, and in the interest of justice is necessary in order to ensure an orderly transition to power. The Supreme Court's summer decision on presidential immunity also causing the collapse in Trump's criminal cases. Ooh, baby. Ooh, man. Trump's incoming White House communication director, Stephen Chung, declared the state victory statement in Trump transition. President Trump won a landslide victory, and the American people have issued a mandate to return him to office and remains in office and dispose of all the witch hunt cases. All the sham law firm attacks against President Trump have now destroyed and are focused on making America great again. He added, jury conviction of Trump, 34 counts falsifying business. Lawyers argued that it would be a miscarriage of justice to continue if Trump, after Trump was reelected. Merchan granted Trump permission to seek dismissal of the hush money criminal cases in which he was found guilty this year in light of his victory. Trump, 78, had been scheduled to be sentenced on November 26th, but prosecutors in Allen's office earlier this week said that they are going to delay indefinitely Donald Trump's sentencing. Yeah, I don't think this guy is going to forget, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Fox News covering it.
Fox News alert now and some developments in the hush money case of Donald Trump in a New York City courtroom. The New York judge Juan Merchan has granted Trump permission to file a motion to dismiss that case. He's already said that he was going to delay sentencing for a little while. He says now that he is going to delay sentencing even further. How long this goes on is anybody's guess at this point. Obviously, the judge is going to consider this motion to dismiss. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, agreed that Trump's attorneys should have an opportunity to file a motion to dismiss to be considered by Judge Merchan. But here's the thing, is that Bragg and his office are willing, if Judge Merchan does not grant the motion to dismiss, Bragg and his office are willing to wait until January 20th, 2029 to resume this case. They said that they're willing to put it on hold for more than 4 years and then start it all back up again when Trump leaves office. I mean, that is by any stretch of the imagination unprecedented in American judicial history. So very soon, we don't know when Trump's attorneys will file this motion to dismiss, but we should hear very soon. And then we'll get Judge Merchan's decision on it after who knows how long. Jilly?
They may be filing it as we speak.
It could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Sentencing in Donald Trump's case has been delayed indefinitely by Juan Merchan. There's the actual order itself. Again, these criminals will be lucky if they stay out of prison. It's over. Juan Merchan issued the final order indefinitely canceling the sentencing in the hoax case and allowing Trump to ask for a dismissal. Trump keeps on winning. Everybody is celebrating. Judge Juan Merchan retreats forever. This is, of course, the Trump statement from Stephen Chung. All of the sham lawfare against Donald Trump has been destroyed, and now we will focus on making America great again. Again, these people better watch out because the hunter becomes the hunted very quickly in a process where you have the American public so sick of this lawfare saying, wait a second, if you are the ones guilty of going after a former president, that's never happened, going after a former president to try and bootstrap a misdemeanor into a felony to put him in prison, and then going after him for freedom of speech in the D.C. cases and the Fulton County cases. It's just Donald Trump saying he doesn't like the election result. That's it. You have a right, actually, to do that, and an obligation, in fact. You have an obligation to petition your government under Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution. It's right there. It's protected. You should petition your government, your grievances. That means your problems with the way the government has acted. So it's our not only our right, but our obligation to ensure that we are able to ask about problems or demand answers or create change in this society. That's all Donald Trump did. In talking about the contesting of the election results, this was all completely legal. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of this was all of it was garbage. From the beginning, it's all been thrown out. The last thing hanging on is the Georgia case, but that is hanging on by a literal thread. And the Georgia appeals court seems to be ready to throw that completely into the garbage, all of it. So that'll be a glorious day. Mike Davis, President Trump's lawyer, warning on our program that the people who are engaging in this lawfare better watch out because it's gonna be them next.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights, and I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
We've been warning people on the show, Mike. This isn't the same Trump administration. Stop messing around. Don't rig elections. Don't illegally vote. Don't try the funny business, because we know the team this time and they are not effing around.